Okay, this is the finals of weekly opens chat tournament, whatever you want to call it, number 25 or so. And so, of course, we, in all our wisdom, will be updating you on the candidates. I believe last time we spoke, I was playing Delhi in the semifinals. Now we are on to the finals. Really proud of myself. Delhi is, as I've said, the hardest opponent for me. So I'm pleased I came through that one. But things have happened in the candidates. Now, many things have happened, and games can be really exciting and then lead to a draw, or like feel like someone's gonna win but then peter out. And if you're kind of recapping the events, you usually kind of skip over the draws because they don't change the standings. So I don't remember where we left off, but in round one, the decisive results were Nepomniachtchi or Nepomniachtchi, the previous person who played for the World Championship and got completely routed. My friend now has a theory that he lost the first game of that match. Or, it was game 6 or whatever. But he loses a game in that match, realizes, I have basically no chance to win this match. Therefore, I'm going to lose so badly that when I win the next candidates, the champion will refuse to play me again, because what's the point? And I'll win the World Championship by default. Because notably, World Champion Magnus Carlsen has said he's not interested in playing someone again that he's already beaten. And he beat Nepo so badly. The others he's beaten, kind of didn't really beat. Like, he tied the match and then won in tie breaks against Caruana. He tied the match and then won in tie breaks against Karyakin. He has not had, convincing title defenses, except against Nepo, who he crushed. So the theory is Nepo threw to cunningly win it. Obviously, this is not true, but it's fun. Ding came in as the top seed, and Nepo in round one as black, which is second turn is a disadvantage in chess, beat him. And at the same time, Caruana, who was the most recent person to tie a match for the World Championship, beat Nakamura, a popular chess streamer. So we have Naka and Nepo taking the lead Caruana and Nepo taking the lead after round one. Now, Ding, the top seed, who loses round one, basically every round after that has pressed for advantage and not converted. So he's going to still be on -1, but every round he seemed so, not so close, but somewhat close to getting back in the action. Alright, the game has started, but I'm going to keep recapping. Round 2, Rajabov, who we hate, got crushed by Nakamura, and by crushed I mean lost to draw an endgame, which was great, very embarrassing for him. So Nakamura gets back up to evens, and our leaders are still Caruana and Nepo on +1. +1 meaning one more win than losses. In round 3, we had no decisive games, though a bunch looked close. Nakamura did an incredible defense against Firouzja, the 19-year-old superstar. Some interesting games that round. Round 4, we saw one decisive result. It was in Nepo as white versus Firouzja. So we've talked about Nepo a bit. Firouzja is the 19-year-old superstar who came in kind of as an unknown because he had rocketed up to number 2 in the world, fallen to number 3 since, but basically has gone close to radio silent for almost a year now, leading up to the tournament, preparing for it because he had qualified. And he showed this incredible bit of prep in round 3, but couldn't quite convert against really fantastic defense by Nakamura. But there's the question of what kind of form is he in. In round 1 and round 2, he was in trouble, but survived both. In round 4, he pulls out a huge, not quite novelty, but if you look at a database of master level games, and you just click the most popular move in every position starting at move 1, you will get this opening that's this line in the Najdorf Sicilian. And it goes 25 moves before theory even starts, basically. Usually deviations happen starting around move 22 from the established stuff. That's where you start finding new ideas, usually. Now there's one point, I'm going to forget the exact move order, it's been a long time since I've looked at this line, but there's one point around move 16, 17, where black almost always plays this pawn push, but they can trade their bishop for a knight first. And that was a line played by some Russian players, I believe, for a bit, like Peter Svidler. but not very popular. The pawn push is much more popular. But as far as I knew, those were the only two moves in the position. But apparently, never really played at the top level yet. But there's been this other move, burbling, and Farthest plays it. This different bishop move I'd never seen before. Had no idea this move existed. Probably wasn't the best idea though. He either hadn't prepared it very well, or Nepo did something clever, and he quickly got in trouble and got blown off the board. Which means Farthest and Ding, the top two seeds entering the tournament, both fall to -1. Both fall to one more loss than win, which is a very hard spot to be in, though it is a 14-round tournament, and this is only round 4. We should probably start thinking. Alright, looking at their hand, 7 left, 7 right, 7 up, 6 down. Not really going to have safety. What are their recaptures on that starter? Their recaptures, one of them is a 7 to the left, which I have no combo play against. I have a right issue. Okay, that's good to know. So I have no threatened 2. I really should have been looking at my hand instead of babbling about this chess stuff, but that's okay. So I think one idea is to go in 1. I think this makes a lot of sense. It lets me play for 2. Or make a real threaten 2. It also, I can set it so I have pretty easy recaptures there, right? Specifically, say I play, let's say 6-4-4-5 in 2. In 1. I have a real threaten 2, and if they take me, I can play something like, a little tricky to take back, but say 6-3-6-4 in 4. I will set up a threat in 5. Annoyingly, 5-4-3-7 might cover my threat, but depends what they put in 2, right? If they play 2-7-6-3 in 2, then 6-3-6-4 in 4 sets up 4-3-5-7 in 5 with a plus, and they will not have playback in 6. They might be able to set up in 8 against that, but I don't see it. And if they play something else, they'll only have a 4 facing down, and I'll have options in lots of squares. You know, I can play in any of 4, 5, 6. Now, 6-4-4-5 is a better card than I'd like to use. I'd really like to start with 2-4-7-5 in 1, because if I play in 1 and the top fills up, feels like that card could be dead. But if they go 2, I don't have the option of going 4. And I'd like to be able to go 4. I may go 5, I may go 6, it depends. But I like directing the game to the left, so I'd sort of rather start with the L in 4. So I think we're going to just play in 1 and see what he wants to do. I really think checking 2 is just the key square to check. If you survive 2, you're going to survive other things as well. You know, other things might be complicated, you'll have to think, you'll have to figure it out, but they're very unlikely to beat you. And so I think that's the key square to check. Turdz tends to play a lot more in 7, 8, 9, sometimes 5. So it may not be the most practical square to check against Turdz exactly, but I think it is something worth checking. But I think 1 makes a lot of logical sense here. I don't have a threat in 2. It gives me a threat in 2. A good threat. You know, 2-4-7-5 there is quite nice. 6-3-6-4 there is also quite nice. So it gives me a serious threat in 2, part of the reason why blocking 2 is the main move. That, you know, T-Rexor also has that, but T-Rexor doesn't look great in any other square like 4 or 6. Alright, back to the chess. So Nepo crushes Farthest. Nepo moves to +2. Caruana is on +1. No one else is above even. That brings us to round 5, today's round as I'm recording this. And I haven't really checked the games yet. It looked like Caruana report was interesting and complicated, but led to a repetition. If you repeat the same position 3 times in a row, it's a draw. So this often happens like, you attack my queen on one square, I move it to a different one. You attack my queen on that new square, I move it back to the first one. You go back attacking it, and we go back and forth. And there is a rule in modern top-level chess in almost every tournament that you can offer draws in chess, but you are not allowed to offer a draw before move 30 or before move 40, I always forget. But one way to make a draw earlier is if you can find some way to repeat in the position. And often in a position where there's kind of nothing to play for, top players are very good at finding these like, if I do this, I'll give them a chance to repeat. And they will also want to not have to play another 15 moves at this clearly drawn position. So they drew. Don't really know what was happening there. I haven't checked today's games yet. Rajabov against Ding. Once again, Ding, it looked like, was pressing for something, but couldn't turn it into anything. So he stays on -1, which I think is a shame, because I really did think he was the best player coming in. For Ruja, Duda, no idea what happened there, but they drew, and Nakamura got something against Nepo, but not enough to bring it home. And so they drew. So leaving rounds 5, which is the most recent round, we have Nepo at -2, Caruana, +2, and Caruana at +1. There are websites that give, based on ratings, assuming players will perform something like their rating. And by something like their rating, it doesn't mean, this player's higher rated, they will always beat that lower rated player. It instead goes, this player's higher rated. They are 28% to win, 15% to lose, the rest to draw, and multiply out the probabilities to get results. But based on that, Nepo is now 43.5% to win the candidates on his +2 score. Caruana is in second at 23.5%, and suggesting that the rest of the field has not, a lot of people on evens has not yet distinguished themselves. There's a bunch between 5 and 8%. There's 4 different players in that range. But Nakamura is technically, by that standard, the third most likely to take it. Partially because Nakamura had 3 blacks in his first 4 games. So even though he had white today, he has more whites remaining. And white is a clear advantage in chess. White tends to score about 54-46, which incidentally seems to be about the same rate first turn scores in Triple Triad, which is quite interesting in the random games I have records of. Alright, back to the game. One nice thing if they go 2-7-6-3 in 2 is it doesn't flip 1, so actually I could play 2-4-7-5 and 4, set up a same in 5, so that's quite nice. So there are some tools I maybe didn't consider here. I mostly just played this move because I thought a move this logical couldn't be bad. I didn't really have anything for the far corner. There wasn't really a way to set up in 5. And I would rather play 1 than 5 here, right? I really want to create something in 2. I don't need to create more in 6, and I really want to make sure not to give them extra combo squares when I'm already having trouble taking something. And furthermore, I want the game not to be directed to the left, right? If I went in 9, or to the right, if I went in 9, the game's all right. I think that would be a move very easy to lose with. If I went in 5, I haven't really directed the game any direction, and they already directed it right, and that's going to be difficult for me to deal with. So specifically, I think this is kind of the reaction to their starter that best directs the game how I want it to. You might think 4 or 7 also do those, but 7 I didn't have a move for, and 4 I would not remotely consider here. Possibly wrongly, but for 2 reasons. But the main one is 4 makes the game side to side. That is its main function. And my hand is just not built to be side to side at all. So it would make the game a little more leftward, but it would not make the game leftward in a way I want. It would also concede safety in 7. I would not have responding safety in 1. I do not threaten safety in 1 or 7. I mean, there's lots of reasons why that move would be bad, but a lot of those reasons just flow from the fact that my hand does not want to be side to side. Alright, so they do go in 2. Now, all rules are on. So I was kind of assuming I'd play 2-4-7-5 in 4. Which I think makes a lot of sense. I'd like to be able to control what they could block 5 with, because they kind of have to block 5. That same is just, they're never going to have play that isn't groveling for a tie after I get 5, I think. So they kind of have to block 5. They can't do it with T-Rexor because I think the combo should be really good for me there. It's conceivable they still tie. They probably do still tie, actually. T-Rexor in 5, I combo in 6. They play 7-4-4-5 in 7. They're only down 6-4, and 5-4-3-7 is quite good there. No, I just take an 8. The 5, 4, 3, 7 can't take 6. So they probably can't do that, so they have to block with one of their other cards. Both have a 4 to the right. I do not have immediate play against that, but it suggests I could have a setup move in 9 there. For instance, if they played 7, 4, 4, 5 in 5, it is conceivable. Or let's say they, 7, 4, 4, 5 in 5. It is conceivable I could hit them with a 7, 2, 4, 5 in 9, because my threat of 4, 3, 5, 7, and 8 is pretty good. It is pretty good. So there are some tricks against blocking 5. I should check things though, more specifically. So 2, 4, 7, 5 in 4. If they play T-Rexor, can't be scared of this. They probably do tie. Because actually, when I combo in 6, they should play 7, 4, 4, 5. No, that doesn't work. Okay, so they can't play T-Rexor. If they play 7, 4, 4, 5, I do kind of think 7, 2, 5, 4, 5, and 9 might just crush them. They have to block 8. They absolutely have to block 8. And I guess I just don't have any setup in 6 there. My threat in 6 is minimal. So they'd be up 6, 4, 7, 3, 5, 5. It's just a tie. It's cute though. It's cute. But if they play 7, 4, 4, 5, I should just start with 6, 3, 6, 4, and 6. It's 5, 5, and they can't take my card. And I'm really threatening to do something in 8. I guess T-Rexor in 7 probably ties there. So I don't have a double capture, and 5, 4, 3, 7 will flip anything. Doesn't look like winning chances to me. Still looks like the very reasonable, logical move to make, but, you know, it would be nice to go for winning chances. What's another move that might have winning chances? 6, 3, 6, 4, and 6. I think the problem is they play T-Rexor in 5. Yeah, I'm not going to see anything else here. Let's do it. If 5, 4, 3, 7 in 5, that's another move. Probably should have looked at it briefly. Yeah, should have looked at it briefly. I think if nothing else, I probably survive with something like 7, 2, 4, 5, and 7, T-Rexor in 8, and then 4, 3, 5, 7 in 9. Amusingly, their 7, 4, 4, 5 can't take it. So it's just hard to believe I don't have enough of the conventional L tools to hold a tie here against any move. And actually, there's sneaky stuff against that one. You know, if they start with 5, 4, 3, 7, and 5, I might have 6, 3, 6, 4, and 9. And 4, 3, 5, 7 might plow them in both 6 and 8. Not entirely sure, but anything they put in 5, they do have to worry a bit about 9. 9 is legitimately usable for me as a square. Largely because I can so often set up 4, 3, 5, 7 to land in 8, flipping everything and also being safe. And it's hard. 7's kind of a dead square for them at the end of a lot of lines. And that's when moves in 9 against 5 tend to work best. They can't really go 6 because 5 just gives me everything. It does feel like they have to go. They have to go 5. I guess 7, 4, 4, 5, and 8 is legal. Because T-Rexor is then pretty good in 7. Feels like a tie, but maybe I have something sneaky there. Maybe I start with 7, 2, 4, 5, and 5 instead of 6, 3, 6, 4 there. I'm not sure. We'll see what comes. So, that's the chess candidates. Obviously the most exciting sporting event in the world. 6, 3, 6, 4 is a pretty sweet mustache. That's exciting. I feel like I'm sharp at Triple Triad at the moment. I feel like my calculations are pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. And my logic is, I think, quite clean at the moment of which squares have a chance to matter and checking them. And sometimes when I get all kind of what are the fundamentals, I stop being able to see creative ideas. But I saw a lot of creative ideas against Delhi. None of them good, or only one of them good. You know, I played a move order of 7, 8, 3. That's pretty cool. You don't see that every day, and it was legitimate. But I was also planning to play 7, 4, 6, and that one didn't work. But it didn't work because of 2, which is obviously an incredibly difficult move to find. But of course, if anyone's going to find it, it is Delhi. I think if the correct move is like the generic move, right? If like the game starts 1-4 and the correct move is in 2, I think I am the most likely player to correctly play that move in 2. But if the move is something diagonal from everything with mad combo potential, then players like Delhi or Vialva or Seto are more likely to find that kind of concept. I think this is a kind of annoying position for him to calculate, because whatever he does, I have a bunch of tools against. Like, not terrible or anything, but he has to check whichever move he like decides to go in 5 with. He has to check 6, 7, and 9. 8 is unlikely to be anything. But because I actually do have setups in 9, it makes each of them a bit more of a pain to check. Because normally you kind of only have to check 6 and 7 and can be like, okay, it works. And like, quick scan of 9, is there combo potential there? Nah, not really, we're good. But here there is combo potential, so you have to be more careful. Alright, he does block 5, so now we get to play the combo setup game. So sadly, if we do 6, 3, 6, 4, and 9 and never hit 4, 3, 5, 7, and 6, it doesn't flip 3, which is probably the reason this isn't going to be a win. But let's check lines. Let's start with 7, 2, 4, 5 in 7. If they take with T-Rexor in 8, that makes it 5, 5. We take back with 4, 3, 5, 7, and we tie. If they take with 7, 4, 4, 5, we can also take with 4, 3, 5, 7, and we tie. We can also, I guess, go in 6. If they go in 6 with T-Rexor, we can take, I guess, with either card in 8, and we tie. If they go in 6 with 7, 4, 4, 5, we can take with either card, and we tie. If they go in 7, this is incredibly unlikely to be scary. It isn't scary. All right, if they go in 9, sorry. So that's a tie. Okay. 7, 2, 4, 5, and 7 ties. But that was to be expected. Our next candidate move, 6, 3, 6, 4, and 6. It's 5, 5. And if they take it, we play 4, 3, 5, 7, and 8, and we tie. If they don't take it with T-Rexor, we win in 8. Meaning if they play T-Rexor in 9. If they play T-Rexor in 7, we double capture, and they double capture, and we tie. If they play 7, 4, 4, 5 in 7, we double capture with 7, 2, 4, 5, and we win. We don't double capture with 4, 3, 5, 7 because we lock into the combo. Alright, so that's a tie 2. If we play 7, 2, 4, 5 in 6, just going through possibilities, we lead 6, 4 nicely. The 4 down to T-Rexor has a problem. If they go T-Rexor in 7, I guess we just tie. Yeah, that's a tie too. Alright, so okay. We have exhausted the generic moves. We may now look at the fun moves. And there's really only one worth considering, right? 6-3, 6-4 in 9. 6-3, 6-4 in 9. Now, if they play T-Rexor in 6, sadly for them, that combos. They go up 7-3. We combo in 8. It flips 4 cards. We go up 7-3. They only capture 4 back. We win 6-4. If they go 7-4-4-5 and 6, then we play an 8 again. We flip 2 cards. T-Rexor is dead at the end, and we win. So they can't go 6. If they go in 7, they can go 7. Well, first, let's see if they go 8. If they go T-Rexor in 8, they go up 7-3. And oh no, we don't quite have the captures. Alright, that doesn't work either. But it's fun. I think I'm going to play it unless it loses. If they go 7-4-4-5 and 8, we do have the captures. But the real problem, I think, is if they go 7... if they go T-Rexor in 7, we play the combo in 8 and we win. But if they go 7-4-4-5 and 7, then it is kind of annoying that T-Rexor has 6. We actually probably lose that. Yeah. Alright. Gotta play one of the boring moves. That's a bummer. 6-3, 6-4, and 6 I think felt the most logical, so I'm gonna do that one. Got the game ready to post. Logging in on screen number 2. Grabbing the game. Posting. Sorry, to mute the other computer. So what was the move order? 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so close to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he points out he could hold an 8, which is also true, but I think 7 was the key move. I think 7, 4, 4, 5, and 7 was... It's good for him. I guess they're probably both ties. Okay. This way we don't walk into a combo. It's the cutest way to tie. I guess it's 7, 2, 4, 5, and 9. Sure, why not? Give him no captures. But this means they didn't make the move order 7, 8, 9. So close. Should have done that. Yeah. 7, 9, 8. And as long as I have not horribly failed at addition, we have a tie. And he says, nicely held with the whole right weakness issue. Yeah. But I don't... I think I found a sufficiently, logical first move that I wasn't in serious trouble as long as I played a good first move. Yeah, he said he wanted T-Rexor in 2, but I think that gave me some scary L's. That gave me so many options, though. I'd have 5 there. I could put kind of anything in 4 and threaten 5. I'd have a lot of control over the game. I think fundamentally there's kind of 2 ways to block 2 in those early setups where there's cards in 3 and 1. and one is what's the highest out facing, which is what he went for. Notably, using the highest out facing often means using the card worst in the direction the game is now facing up, so it has multiple reasons to be good. Yeah, he says much harder to calculate those wide open games. Yeah, with all the low numbers facing out, if the combos ever go against you, you just lose. This time I have a 6 to the right. 6 is every direction but left, where I have a 7. He has 7, 7, 5, 5. So 5, 6, 4, 4 is going to be a powerhouse. And I'm glad I cover 6, 7, 2, 3 to start with. This looks like a tough hand for him. Hopefully we find a good way to pressure. I'm going to just offhandedly predict that he starts with 6, 4, 3, 5, and 8. But I think I will have options there. This is very much a move that never really pressures my cards. And specifically with me having 7, 2, 5, 5, I suspect I can play something safe in 7, they go 9, and I go 5, 6, 4, 4, and 4, taking advantage of the fact that that's both safe and threatens 5. And I think that's a difficult position, because if they block 5, anything they put in 5 has such high numbers facing up, they can't take it. So they probably shouldn't go 8. That's probably a very bad idea. They should probably play like 7, 3, 3, 5, and 1 or something. Specifically, I'm thinking 7, 3, 3, 5, and 1, because it gets rid of a card in a direction he wants to face, and it gives him plus play against 5, 6, 4, 4, and 7, which is probably the most threatening thing on the board for him. On the other hand, with multiple 3s to the left, I'm not sure he wants to start there either. So feels like he has a horrible hand here, and this would be a good chance for me to push. Weirdly, I think 6, 7, 2, 3 in 7 might be a better starter than 6, 4, 5, 3, and 8. Because, like, you just sack it, right? I take it with 4, 4, 4, 7, and then you stick something safe in 9, probably 6, 5, 2, 5, or 6, 4, 4, 5. And actually, I might have less play using the 4 up and 8 than I would against a 6, 8. I might have less clean kind of L options. Curious idea. Not sure it makes too much sense. Certainly not what you want to go for. I'm expecting a weak corner at the top. Maybe a 6, 4, 5, 3, but that gets rid of your 5 down, which might be really needed. But does it actually beat much? The only thing it beats is Chocobo, right? But yeah, no, you still need that, right? You can't be giving me, like, you go in 3 and I play Chocobo in 9 and it's safe. That's not acceptable. This is a very bad hand for him. Maybe the answer is 5. Like, 6, 4, 4, 5, and 5. You cover 5, 6, 4, 4, and 7 actually just shockingly well. And maybe if you can set up sufficient synergies against everything I do, you know, you cover 6s up in 9, you cover 5s up in 7. You don't cover 6s up in 7, but you might be doing something there to limit the damage. If I go in 4, 6, then I think maybe you, like, if I go 4, maybe you just have 3, and maybe you're okay. Side-to-side games are hard for this hand, too, though. He's a very bad hand. Very bad hand. I really thought Ding would win today, once I saw some position midway through. Because Rajabov is terrible, and Ding's pretty good at pressing, but he hasn't gotten there. Hasn't gotten there. Yeah, smart of him to use all his time here. Turdz and I have been talking recently about time usage in games. Specifically kind of inspired by Seto and Akiyama's very quick play. and how effective they are at using thinking time during your turn. Okay, we get the weak corner here. Now, if I went 5, 6, 4, 4 in 7, I would be giving up captures. He has many recaptures in 6, but only 1 recapture in 2. Intriguing. If I take with 6, 4, 4, 5 or 7, 2, 5, 5, then the recapture in 2 gives me 6, 3, 6, 4 in 5. But at some point at the end, they might have 6, 5, 2, 5 in 8. Fair enough. Can I set up anything else against it? If I capture with 6, no, that gives them the combo back. Interesting. Okay. Did they give up their best number in any direction such that they have a new weakness? No, they did not. They're better right than they are left. No, this is very logical. I like this move. I think this is a good move. If I go 7 and take safety in 7, do they have any setups? Not really. In 5, I think I always have time to block. I think it's a very good move. I like this move a lot. So 5, 6, 4, 4, and 7. The most logical thing for them to do is block 6. That would give me 4, 4, 4, 7, and 9 safely. Then they have safety in 8. And my only capture in 5 of whatever they put in 6, if I need to capture it, which I'm assuming I will. I'm assuming 6, 4, 5, 3 lands in 6. Oh, it's complicated. Oh, it's complicated. Because if 6, 4, 5, 3 lands in 6, I can combo from 9, they can combo back from 8, but then I have a same in 5 with 6, 3, 6, 4. If they combo back in 8, it's 6, 7, 2, 3. I mean, this looks like it should be pretty decent for me, because if they put anything else in 6, Boko grabs it, and I can just put something in 5 with solid outfacing values, and it's just annoying for them to deal with. But 5, 6, 4, 4 plays so well. W would hold on to 5, 6, 4, 4, and if I can find a good move, I think I should. I think the goal is that card's just going to sweep it. It's going to beat whatever's near it. And I should try to keep on hold of that if I can. Alright, so actually, my chair just made funny noise. 6, 4, 4, 5 in 6 with the idea of if they play 6, 7, 2, 3, and 2, I just play 9. That way I keep my 5, 6, 4, 4 facing towards the action in, I think, pretty effective fashion. I draw the 6, 7, 2, 3 out of their hand. I will have threats in 5. That might be what I want to be doing here. I will have threats in 5. I think that's what I want to be doing here. I think I don't want to play 5, 6, 4, 4, and 7. Though I don't think it's a bad move. But I think I just want to take them. I want to take them with something they can't combo back. Maybe they can play 7, 3, 3, 5 or 6, 5, 2, 5 in 9. Maybe. But then I have such a nice play in 8, I think, with 5, 6, 4, 4, where I have this huge threat in 5. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take this. I think I'm going to try to make the claim that 6, 7, 2, 3 is so much of the power in your hand. Oh, I give them 5 too. What am I talking about? I give them 5 too. So they can't go 7, 3, 3, 5, and 9 because that's the card that hits 5, but they can go like 6, 5, 2, 5, and 9. Then I might have screwed up. Yeah, decent chance I screwed up there. I still think that position should be fine. I can like go for some L. Right? I can play like 6, 3, 6, 4 in 2. Should be okay. But then I have to really carefully check 1. No, I think I went wrong here. Turdz says, "Bet I didn't expect a 3-starter coming." I was thinking a weak corner at the top, but this isn't quite a weak corner. This is a mid corner at the top. And as I said, this was better than what I was thinking for him. I think this was a good move. And now we play the waiting game. So yeah, time usage. That Seto and Akiyama are so good at using time during your turn that they can play on their turns just tremendously quickly. And right, if you start thinking about a move as the turn starts, they will always have found the ideas faster than you because they were doing chunks of calculation on their time, or at least that's what we think is happening. I kind of do the opposite. I tend to, I check some lines during their turn, but it's never something that feels very intensive or very committal. I very much use their turn as a chance to cool down. Yeah, I have too big a right problem. This was just the wrong way to go. I thought I was being cool, but my hand doesn't want to be going right. This ain't it, Chief. I've blown it. I went from what should be a good spot to now I think I will have to be quite careful to tie. Which is obviously not quite the dream. But worse things have happened. So I think they should go 9, is what I'm saying. But anyhow, so I think they're very quick calculators, and they look even faster than they are. I, on the other hand, think spend the other person's turn. This is a concept some people use in chess. Spend the other person's turn resting and not calculating particularly seriously, but instead looking at kind of generalities about the position and getting kind of a good feel for what's going on and not doing anything all that intensive. Like just looking for little nonsense patterns that might not matter in the position, or things like just like, oh, how do I do in each direction? Ah, yes, I do have a right weakness. Let's keep that in mind. Ah, they have that 7 to the right. If that comes out of their hand, they're pretty bad going to the right. That might matter too. Little things. Not like I have to figure out the way to take advantage of it, but getting all the core concepts of the position kind of well entrenched in your mind. Or just zoning out, because calculating is tiring and it is nice to give yourself some rest from it. But if you can spend a little time just finding some little things about the position you might not have noticed, but that don't require calculation, I've always thought, or I think that's a really effective way to use one's time. So there's quite a big difference there. And it also, for me, this was a thought I had. I'm not sure how true it is, but it felt reasonable. If I am comfortable with my position, like I'm comfortable with the move I'm making, it seems pretty good to me, and I have 2 minutes on the clock or 3 minutes on the clock in a tournament, I'm probably just going to make the move on the belief that spending more time will A, give the chance that I get low on time panic and forget what my intended move is, or even if I remember, I won't have looked at the critical lines so recently, and I may see something, panic, forget what my idea was against it, and suddenly have to jump ship to something else because I freak out. So when it's still firmly entrenched in my mind, I've just checked the lines for what I think the critical move is. They do go 9. I think that's kind of the time to just play the move. And they hold on to 7-3-3-5. So this makes a lot of sense. And of course, interestingly, very bad going down. I would really like to play in 2, have them go 5, and get to land Chocobo safely in 8. Sadly, as long as they have 6-5-2-5 in their hand, Chocobo will not land safely in 8. That said, 7-2-5-5 and 2, 7-2-5-5 looks pretty reasonable. If they go 6-5-2-5 and 5, then Chocobo in 8 is great. If they go 6-7-2-3 and 5, they have just used so much leftward power, and it is hard for me to imagine that 5-6-4-4 and 8 isn't good, but it's probably not. It's probably not actually winning. 6-5-2-5 is a pretty good endgame sweeper there. And if they go 7-3-3-5 and 5, which is probably the main move, then suppose I play 5-6-4-4 anyway. Looks like ties. Looks like ties. If we start with 5-6-4-4 and 8, we just get comboed. That one hurts. If we start with 6-3-6-4 and 2, that sets up them as well, and also 5-6-4-4 and 5, they have a combo in 8. Somewhat annoying. There's a curious idea of starting in 7, but it doesn't do anything. Okay. Bad idea of starting in 7. I think 7-2-5-5 and 2 is just the move I'm gonna make. I ain't happy about it. I think it creates enough of a threat in 5, they have to block 5. Six 5-2-5 is just genuinely crushes me in a lot of endgames, though. I gotta make sure. So 7-2-5-5 and 2. If they go 6-7-2-3 in 5, I go 5-6-4-4 in 8, and I don't think I can lose that. Yeah, I don't think I can lose that. If they go 7-3-3-5 and 5, that's really the problem. If they go 6-5-2-5, it gives me 4-4-4-7. So, okay, I go 2 with Zoo or whatever it's called. They go 7-3-3, 7-3-3-5 and 5. They're up 6-4. Where do I go? I go 8 with 5-6-4-4. And the question is, do I tie there? And the answer is, if they go 7, definitely, because that will make it 5-5 and they have no down power. If they go 4, definitely I can always go 7. But if they go 1, if they start in 1, if they start in 1, I can always take with 4-4-4-7, I'll be up 7-3. Okay, so another L, another. Have to be a bit careful, but I think fundamentally should be fine. My move in 6 wasn't great though. He played nicely here. Oh, I should put these in the database. Gotta bring up game 1. Where are we? Finals. What's the rule set? Level 4. Same ++1 combo. First game. Turdz. He's had first turn both games. Turdz 5-5 was up, and Turdz unknown was up, but probably 5-5. Yeah, let's bring up the last game. So a good card to put in mind for him. So the last game was 4-5, 4-5-3, 6-4-4-5-1, 2-7-6-3-2, 2-4-7-5-4, 5-4-3-7-5, 6-3-6-4-6, 4-6-2-7-7. Then I should have gone 8 just so it could go 4-5-6-7-8-9, but I screwed up horribly. 7-2-4-5-9, 7-4-4-5-8, 4-3-5-7 left over. Cool. And this one we've gone 6-4-4-5-3, really good starter. 6-4-4-5-6, 6-4-5-3, 9, 7-2-5-5-2. I think we've both done a good job, somehow leading to just the very similar structure setups, but have both done a good job of neutralizing the other player when they had the better hand so far. Neither of us has found a way to turn a good hand into serious pressure, because I think there's ample ties here. He's not pressed for, oh no, must find the one tie, right? And I think I had that last game too. But actually, I kind of think somehow I ended up a little ahead last game out of the L. Where he had to be slightly carefuler, though had a number of ties in this game. I think I probably had to be slightly carefuler. Decent logic to the games, though, so far. That's what I'm focusing on at the moment. Logic. Logic of moves. Figuring out correctly. Identifying kind of the key squares correctly. You know, something like, I have a huge threat in 5, so their main move's in 5. You know, that's pretty simple, but seeing it at some distance is relevant. And is more difficult than seeing it on the spot, right? Let's look at Turdz' account with its masterful collection of ties. Oh, maybe it's the other account that's... Ooh, he's so close to... Oh no, 10,000 died. So getting close to 10,000 losses. There should be a reward for that. Come on, TTA. Let's have rewards for loss counts. Getting close to 15k wins. What do you get for 15k wins? I have no idea. There must be a prize there. Bring that up on the other screen. But actually, I bet it won't show me because... What's it under? Rewards? TTA rewards, yeah. Yeah, so the account I'm looking at is going for 4,000 wins, and it just shows the prize for 4 and 5k, not for 15k. I think there used to be a thing on the forums that would tell you, but that's long gone. Back to time usage. That's an interesting topic. So if I'm satisfied, I like to make my move with 2-3 minutes left on the clock. I've just kind of finished, double-checked, I'm comfortable with my calculations, and unless there's some really critical line that has come to mind in that time, I'm not going to spend time kind of throwing out tentacles looking for something when I think it will just make me less sure and less comfortable in my main line. Then there's the idea of you should use every second you have, and my argument is if I'm comfortable, those last 2-3 minutes will hurt me. I don't want to be thinking during them. This came up because of our semifinals, where Turdz had found a tie and panicked in his last 60 seconds or so, and ended up playing a losing move for Triad Wars 14. And the idea wasn't that using more time is bad, that he was saying, but that using more time, using time badly can be harmful. And I think what I do makes some sense to mitigate that. That 6-5-2-5 really didn't estimate well how well it would sweep me in some lines. Really critical card here. Big card. Wish my 6-3-6-4 was 6-3-6-2, but that's a level 3. Okay, what was I saying? Time usage, yeah. And So then there's the idea of use all the time you have. And I think I should say, if I'm uncomfortable, I will go lower than that. But I usually won't go lower than that unless I haven't finished the calculation on my main line, or I'm not comfortable with that calculation. You know, for some reason I'm uncomfortable. I haven't checked the things I wanted to check, or nothing's working and I'm desperately reaching around for another move. Alright, that is our main move. We, of course, cannot combo him for fear of being obliterated. Can we do anything fun? Can we go 5, 6, 4, 4, and 7? Again, let's pretend I'm an interesting player. 5, 6, 4, 4, in 7. I mean, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. And so we play 5, 6, 4, 4, in 8, like a coward. Like a coward. 5, 6, 4, 4, 8. If they go in 7, they can take one card. We're up 6, 4. It's 5, 5. We block 4. It's a tie. If they go in 4, we go 7. That's great, obviously. And if they go in 1, we can go in 4 or 7, I guess. I have to go in 4 with the right card, though. Can't go in 4 with 6, 3, 6, 4 because both combo it. So we'll go 8. 7 is so much cuter, but I don't want to actually calculate it and it might lose. So let's go 8. So 3, 6, good starter for him. 9, 2, 5, 8. We're just going down rows. Maybe we'll go 1, 4, 7. That'd be fun. We filled up the right row, top to bottom. We filled up the middle row, top to bottom. So if Turdz has the sense of style that I missed last game, he will now go in 1. 6, 5, 2, 5, and 1. Let's see it. And then I will have to play 4, 4, 4, 7, and 4 to finish the pattern. And he will go in 7, and all will be dandy. Yeah, so time usage is interesting. I think you want to avoid the end of turn panics. So I think if you're comfortable, unless you don't panic, like maybe Deli just doesn't panic. Ooh, he's picked up 6, 5, 2, 5. Sorry, I saw that on the other monitor. That really makes it seem like I'm cheating and seeing the future. He does it! He goes in 1. Perfect. What a stylish fella. So we will go Chocobo in 4. Why does it say my opponent's hand? There we go. Minor glitch there. Eight, so we want 1, 6, 5, 1, 4, 4, 4, 7, 4, 6, 7, 2, 3, 7, 6, 3, 6, 4 left over. Another good game, another tie. Yeah, he's happy to survive, but he didn't end up in too much danger. So that brings us to game 3. Will I get a first turn? Will it matter? I will get a first turn. Ah, 2, 2, 7, 6, and 3 looking viable. Okay, directionally. 7 up, 7 down, 5 right, 6 left. Bit weaker side to side. I could see 1, 6, 4, 7 ending up really crushing this game. I do have play against their 7 down from above it. That 2, 6, 6, 5 could just be a really good sweeper here at some point. Though they do have 2 7s up. Alright, so let's check the obvious. 2, 2, 7, 6, 3. It looks like they have 4, 5, 6, 4 in 5. I should just make sure they don't have other setup. Oh, 7, 4, 4, 5 already covers it. So, okay, scratch that. But I would like to get rid of one of my corners for over there. Seems just generally desirable. But maybe 6, 6, 3, 5 and 7 is the more pressuring move. 6, 6, 3, 5, 7. Because I have the combo against the 6, 2, 7, 2 capture. So I have to see if they can set up other ways. I think they can. Their top card needs a 4 down, which they have. We'll get back to that, because that's the one I think is critical. Next card needs a 6 down. Next card needs a 2 down. They do have a 2 down, actually. Oh, that's relevant. Okay. Next card cannot take it. Oh, sorry, needs a 5 or 7 down, which they do have as well. And the last card needs a 4 down, which they don't. So they can play 7, 4, 4, 5, 6, 2, 7, 2, or 7, 5, 2, 5, and 5. If they play 6, 2, 7, 2, though, they lose 4, so that one's out. If they play 7, 5, 2, 5, and that looks pretty good for them, doesn't it? And I was thinking 7, 4, 4, 5 would be critical, and that also looks pretty good for them. I guess my main move against each of those is to play 1, 6, 4, 7 in 8. With the idea of whatever they put in 4, I can capture from 1, but 2, 6, 6, 5 isn't safe in 1. It would be, but they played a 7 up either with 7, 4, 4, 5 or 7, 5, 2, 5, which gives their 5, 3, 5, 6 coverage. Not ideal. 2, 3, 6, 7, and 9 they have covered. Well, I'm all out of ideas. I tried the big corners and they didn't seem great. So what to do next? Kind of want to play 2, 2, 7, 6, and 7. With the idea that 6, 3, 6, 5 will at some point take back with high out facing. That seems like it could be something. It's a really easy card for me to take back. So is 2, 3, 6, 7. I kind of want to get rid of one of those from my hand, because I have kind of 3 cards that are best in 3. And I think I'd like to have fewer. Which card's better? Probably 2, 3, 6, 7. But does that mean it's better here? Probably, actually, because they have these 7s up, and it has more potential against them with the 3 and the 6. Alright, let's do a weak corner. See what happens. So, weak corner for us. Not the most impressive starter on the planet, but what you gonna do? Sometimes the cards don't oblige. Though concluding, I couldn't find a starter, therefore it wasn't there, is never the right way. Okay. Instead concluding, I didn't find a starter, and I don't mind playing this. And I think it's a touch better than it looks, because every single one of my cards has the double capture, and not every single one of his does. So technically, I've created a card slightly harder for him to deal with than it is for me to deal with. This is a very weak technicality, of course. I also like my coverage of random stuff. You know, any of the 7s up in 9, I can just take it from 8 and everything's pretty good for me. His biggest corner in 1, I have a nice plus in 4. He doesn't have that much left power. So, I don't know. I bet he goes 3. my prediction. He said he plays more opposite corners than he used to. I don't know. But this feels like a 3 position. Just don't need to interact with anything I've done here. On the other hand, like what goes in 3? 5-3, 5-6 is pretty well covered by 2-6-6-5, though I am weak on ups, so maybe you do try to make it up. That seems logical. I don't like that after, something like 5-3, 5-6 in 3, 2-6, 6-5 in 2, 7-4, 4-5 in 6, that they have combos in 5. It's a little annoying. Probably means I can't take immediately. Do I have any big punishes of their captures? A lot of their captures in 8 have 5s, and I can't do anything against that. What about their captures in 4? 6 up I have play against, 5 up I don't, 7 up I don't. I do. 7 up I do. So it's the 5 up. So actually, if 5-3, 5-6 comes out of their hand, maybe I could just go 8. Just chuck like 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8, some random card that doesn't play well, and say, you don't actually have anything to do in 4. Right? You can't lock in my card, because your 7 up I combo with 1, 6, 4, 7, your 6 up I combo with 2, 6, 6, 5, or if it's still in my hand, 2, 3, 6, 7, and your 4 up. Why did I think I'd play against a 4 up? Huh, nope. Got nothing. Oh, jeez. I was seeing things well. Now I'm, maybe a little fuzzier. It's okay, though. See, I think time usage is interesting, because, like, you have 7 minutes, it feels like, or 5 minutes, depending on, what time control you're playing, but it feels like, you're really trying to win, you should figure out how to optimally use that time. And, ideally that would mean you use all 7 minutes on your turn and however much time is on theirs. But I think in practice, at least for me, that's not the right time usage, and I can only really speak for myself. But I think if I'm happy, most of my moves should be played in a 7-minute game with 2-3 minutes left on the clock. Could be more, could be less, but somewhere in that-ish range. And if I'm unhappy, I can let it go down further because the panic won't muddy the failing lines I'd already looked at, kind of thing. So it sort of depends how damaging is panicky last-second decisions, right? And if I am comfortable, those decisions are much more likely to hurt me than I am to find something I haven't seen in the previous 4 or 5 minutes. And if I'm uncomfortable, then it's hard for those decisions to hurt me, and I should probably play into them. That's my thinking on that. And thinking during their turn, I think it might depend on how good a calculator you are. I am obviously a very good calculator, and so I have faith that if my brain is feeling rested and happy, I will be able to do pretty valuable calculations just on my time, having spotted maybe a few ideas on their time. Or having spotted ideas, my previous turn, right? Because I obviously was calculating them. So, for me, I think resting is more valuable than using the time. But it depends on how good you are at sustained thinking. And I should say, as a chess player, it seems like I should be really good at sustained thinking. But, when it's not my turn in chess, I will get up from the board and wander around the tournament hall. No one wanders around tournament halls more than I do. I want to go see all the other games. I don't want to be sitting at the board. The position will sort of be in my head. I might have ideas, but I'll be looking at other stuff. If I have friends at the tournament and they happen to be up, which they are a lot less than I am, might go chat with them. The usual secondary room for talking is a room I frequent while playing a lot more than most people do. For me, that's always been useful, valuable time that I like having. So, but for other people, and obviously I can think for sustained amounts of time and regularly do, but once I've made a decision, I like having that rest. So that's where I go on that. For other people, if you think you are, you don't get tired out, you don't find yourself flagging during games or during longer matches, then using the opponent's time to think seems really valuable. Alternatively, if you think your weakness is calculating, spending more time calculating so you can catch up on that front could be a good use. Well, that's not something I saw coming. I notice both their 7s up have a 5 to the left. Intriguing. Amusingly, that sets up 2, 3, 6, 7, and 5, right? If I go in 3 and, you know, their only captures are these 7s up and 6, and I play 2, 3, 6, 7, and 5, weirdly, 6, 2, 7, 2 is incredible in 4 and 8. But actually, the combo might not flip anything extra. But, oh man, what a random, huge setup of a card, right? Just look at that beauty. 6, 2, 7, 2. Sweeper. I also have combos against their 7 up. Their 7 down, if they capture with 6, 2, 7, 2. So I'm sort of thinking 1, 6, 4, 7 in 3. Because I actually have combo play against every capture they have. And I don't think they ever have combo play back immediately. If they go in 1, their highest down facing, which is safe, doesn't flip 2. And that seems, you know, nice for me. One, 6, 4, 7, and 3. That feels like the critical idea. I think 4 could be decent fiddle. They go 4, I go 1, they go 5, and suddenly my cards don't quite click. My cards don't quite click there. Curious, but hard to be too scared of that. Maybe they go 4, I go 6. It'll be complicated. I mean, I guess that's one I should figure out if it happens. I don't think I should go 5. I don't think I have good control over the key squares out of the J. I don't see the logic of 9. I feel like I should attack what they've just done. Feels attackable. I'd like to get something with terrible ups out of my hand. So I kind of want to play 1, 6, 4, 7, and 3. If they play in 1, then 6, 6, 3, 5 in 4 looks appealing. Maybe it's not so good. Maybe even though it's safe, it means they can now play... But they can't play 6, 2, 7, 2 in 6 necessarily. It does give me 5. So it's at least a little scary. And it might be doable, but it's scary. It's definitely scary. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 3. I bet they have a way to clarify in 1 or 4. And I do have an up issue. You know, if I... That's the thing that could come back to really bite me here. Maybe if they go in 1, I can actually just go 2, 6, 6, 5, and 4. To say, you can have those cards, but I want to control space. It's not going to be a side-to-side game anymore. I think this card won't be very good. You see, I had 2.5 minutes on the clock. Perfect example of, like, I basically think it works well enough, and I didn't really see other ideas that I super wanted to calculate, so I'm going to make my move, be happy with it, and semi-zone out. I think it's interesting. Their only capture in 1 is 7525. He has so many captures and so many directions he could go that, like, I think a move like this, even if, like, most specific lines, if you check them, you're just like, oh, okay, that's eventually a tie. It sort of has more power than that, just because there's so many lines worth checking. Like, he has to look at every card in 6. Maybe he looks at cards in 1. Maybe he looks at 4. Maybe he looks at 8. Conceivably, he looks at 9 or 5, though those seem unlikely. But there's just a lot of squares you can look at. So any position like this, like, there's a very good chance he just finds a clarifying move and we tie immediately, or I have to find a tie. But I always think, like, if my move doesn't lose, he now has to find a move that doesn't lose. And there's a lot of options, and with a lot of options, you know, if there's only one option, sometimes that forces you to find it, right? There's, like, the one critical move and nothing else can work. Maybe you just check the critical move until you figure out how it works. Though I don't think that's always the case in Triple Triad. That happens more in chess, where there's only one move that can possibly defend, so you have to play it whether or not it works, and if it works, you're like, great, I played a good defense, but, like, most players will play that move just because there were no other options. And there might be a position that is technically better for you, but there's, like, 5 options that make some sense, and it's really hard to pick the one that happens to work. In Triple Triad, I think that's less true, because I think often if there's, like, clearly one critical line, but it looks like it doesn't work, people will think, okay, that doesn't work, and move off to weirder moves that are just never going to work. I don't know. I've been a little scattershot here. It's our 3rd game. Video's been going for a while. Losing stamina, you know. So very important in these longer matches, I think, to find times to rest your thinking. But I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable in this position, I think. I do think it's very funny that a bunch of the cards in 6, I play 2, 3, 6, 7, and 5, and 6, 2, 7, 2 has never had that much combo potential. Like, having the plus and the same like that is just wildly powerful looking, but not actually that good. I don't think. Maybe they go 1, and it's hard for me to go 4. So maybe it is that good. Maybe it is that good. But I'm skeptical. Like, it might be a funny way to tie, but I don't think I can be in danger. I just have too many extra cards locked. Because, like, say I go 5, they go 1, I go 9, I have 3, 6, 9 locked, I have the card I'm going to play, of course I'm going to recapture 7, so I'm going to have at least 5 cards. How can you lose? You can't lose. You might not win, but you can't lose. That is my top priority. But yeah, I think time usage is interesting. I'm curious if you're watching this, like, do you think in, you know, important positions you should let your time run down to very low? Should you, you know, let it run low if you haven't found anything, but if you have found something, maybe just play it rather than looking for other ideas? I think some players are going to be able to handle the low time better than others. Some players are going to need more rest from thinking more quickly than others. So I think it's not like there's, you know, my way of doing it is correct or something like that. It's much more, what's the way that's best for you? But I think it's easy to conclude, that makes sense for them, this makes sense for me, what I'm doing must be right. And one thing I appreciate about Turdz is he's been thinking, other people are doing, that he considers better players than him, are doing this differently than he does. They might be onto something. Can he adjust to do what they're doing? And if he can, that might be a strength, right? And so I think it's easy to conclude, my brain works this way, and I'm doing it that way, and that fits, when in fact it may not fit. And it may be that I It may be that I should play more 2-minute, realize or get used to not panicking at those time controls, and be able to use my time more lengthily and better. But I'm not even sure that's true, because playing 2 minutes, your brain is set to kind of like, you play at the 2-minute pace. And playing a 7-minute game, your game is at the 7-minute pace, and adjusting to a faster pace can be really difficult. And by playing with a few minutes left, I never make that adjustment, right? I can stay in my 7-minute or 5-minute mindset and not switch into a suddenly I have to move mindset, which feels quite different to me. So I don't even know if that kind of thing would help prepare for time troubles. Like, I'm a very good bullet and blitz player in chess, which are faster time controls, but that doesn't mean I'm great in time scrambles in longer games. And a lot of players who are much slower have a lot more experience in time scrambles. Though, from thinking about them, I'm not sure they're great in time scrambles either. So I don't know. If we tie this game, so he has let the time get really low. I think it was a tricky position. I think even if lots of moves tie, it's hard to find one and be sure that one does. Picked up a card. It is one of the 7s up. It goes in 5. Alright. Did not predict this. Now we can see there's a same potential in 4. There's some plus potential in various squares. Plus walling, 6272 could boom me a bit. Yeah, so I think the main lines are kind of something like, I block 6, they combo me in 9, I play 8, they have the same in 4, and I don't take stuff from 1. Maybe I do take stuff from 1. Maybe I hold on to 6635. Alright, let's check that. So if I go 2, 3, 6, 7 in 6, and I'm up 6-4. If they take me with 7, 5, 2, 5, it's 5, 5. I take with 2, 6, 6, 5. No, I take with 6, 3, 6, 6, 3, 5. I'm up 6-4. They only have a single capture in 4, and I have at least a capture in 1. So I win there. So if they take with 6-2-7-2 in 9, they combo me. And so they'll be up 6-4. But maybe I can then play 2-6-6-5 in 8. Then they have that, because that never flips 5, it's only 5-5, and they can play 5-3, 5-6, and 4 to tie. And if I do it with 6-6-3-5, I go up 6-4, but they double capture back. If I do it with 2-6-6-5 and 6, is that any different? I don't think so. If I start in 1, what would I start in 1 with? Do I have any big combo set up in 9 at any time? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Is there any big weapon in 8? 2-6-6-5 in 8. 2-6-6-5 in 8. 5. There you go. Somewhere there. 2-3-6-7 is too dead there. So if I start with 2-3-6-7, 2-3-6-7-8. Feels like I'm asking for trouble. 5, 5, say they play 5, 3, 5, 6, and 9, 6, 4, 4. No, I wasn't there. They play 7, 5, 2, 5, and 9, and combo it. 6, 6, 3, 5. They start in 6. They go 6, 4, and they get 5, 5. 2, 3, 6, 7 is dead at the end. Okay. 6, 4. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Okay, I think that's a losing idea. Alright, so probably just have to go 6. I think they found a nice way out. 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 5. Yeah. Alright, don't see a win. There is 6, 6, 3, 5, and 6. I hadn't checked that. We'll spend a little time on that. I know time is running lower than I claimed I would think to, but nah, the sames are bad for me. Alright, let's make a move. And we have tie number 3, so we will split into a second video if we keep going here. Let's move order. 7, 2, 3, 5, 6, 6, 5. For my database, 7, 4, 5, 6, 4, 2, 1, 6, 4, 7, 3, 7, 4, 4, 5, 5, 2, 3, 6, 7, 6. One thing I like is that if they go 9, I don't have to go 8. I can always go like 2, 6, 6, 5, and 1. I just like that the path. There will be multiple paths to a tie, I think. Meaning, if I have miscalculated something in particular, it is probably not the end of the world. And like 4 and then 9 is not a scary sequence either. I have an interesting way to tie this one. It is definitely worth him looking for winning shots here, but I don't think there is anything. It is somewhat important for me that the combo flips 5, because otherwise, in 9 flips 5, because otherwise 2, 6, 6, 5, and 8 could walk into bad stuff in 4, but as is, it will never flip anything extra. I would like to magically turn my 2, 6, 6, 5 into a 3, 6, 6, 5 for a turn, but I don't think my wish here will be granted. Actually, does 2, 6, 6, 5, and 1 just win? Have I been just unable to count? Maybe it just wins. Because my weak corner and the card in 5 are so easy for me to take. God, I'm so slow. Jesus. But 6, 2, 6, 6, 2, 7, 2, and 9. 2, 6, 6, 5, and 1. I wanted to keep 2, 6, 6, 5 over 2, 3, 6, 7 because the right value is valuable both for going in 8 and in 1. But I sort of had this as the backup tie, but actually it might just win. Because they can't combo it. And so I'm going to end up with the cards in 2 and 3. And my 6, 6, 3, 5 in either 4 or 8 obviously will have itself, so that's a third card. It will obviously take 7, it will take 5, and it will take either 9 or lock in 1. Ah, so they go for something different. Okay, cool. Now they do not have to combo, though. So maybe they don't need it. Well, he's played this smarter than I would have, because I was oblivious. 5, 3, 5, 6 with a really clutch plus an 8 against either of my 5s to the right. Very clutch. It's funny how now I go from like, oh, it was a tie all along, to why am I not winning? I deserve to win this. And of course I don't. So 2, 6, 6, 5, and 4. I'm off 6, 4. They go 5, 3, 5, 6, and 8. And we tie. Of course, 7, 5, 2, 5 loses. If I start with 2, 6, 6, 5 in 9, the difference is they put a card in 1 I can't take. And so they have to take my card in 9 to tie, but they just about can with 5, 3, 5, 6. If I go in 8, they go 4. Yeah. Oh, I got all hopeful for a bit there. But it was very accidental. This was not a game I earned a win or anything. I guess we'll do it the 2, 6, 6, 5, and 9 one. Six, 6, 2, 7, 2, 1. Very nice find. 2, 6, 6, 5, 9. He'll go 5, 3, 5, 6, 8. I will play 6, 6, 3, 5, 4. 7, 5, 2, 5 will be left over. And we will have tie number 3. My corner starter ended up playing pretty nicely. It was very easy for me to work around and take one of the more effective corner starters, weak corner starters I've done of recent. And we'll call that a video and start new one for the next games.